Another Saturday, 9:30 a.m. and we are back with 15 incredible watches. If you're new here, my name is James. I run Kibble Watches here in Clerkenwell, London. And every single Saturday, 9:30 a.m. on the dot, we release new watches to the website. And it's always an incredible, diverse range of watches, from mainstream Rolex to very limited edition Zeniths to, Seikos, everything in between, including affordable and quirky bits, as well as vintage. I always try and bring some vintage to each episode. Now, if you want to skip to a specific watch, let's say you're here just to see this incredible Heuer Verona, you can do so via the description. There's a timestamp for every single watch you see here, as well as a link to the website where you can see more photos, additional details, everything you could possibly want. And you can book an appointment to view the watches. We're Monday to Friday only, and please book ahead in advance to avoid disappointment. And we don't take walk-ins or sort of just buzz along for security and insurance purposes and everything like that, and also to not overlap. So please book in advance. I really appreciate it. Okay, so before we dive into the watches on the table, what's on wrist? I'm wearing a wonderful Oris. This is an Oris pointer-date moon phase automatic from 1996, and I'm always toying with the idea of selling it. I don't wear it for an extended period of time, and then I'm like, okay, I'll bring it in and sell it, and then I put it back on wrist and I go, why was I ever thinking of selling this? I absolutely love it. So it's not for sale, but this is a reference 7460 if you want to try and find one. Often you see them without the moon phase, so it's quite rare with the moon phase as well. But it's a great watch and one I enjoy wearing. It does have an Oris bracelet, but I think it looks far better on the strap. Let me know down in the comments if you have a watch like that in your collection, or a few watches like that in your collection that you always toy around with the idea of selling, and then whenever it actually comes to it, like to actually sell the watch, you can't bring yourself to do it. And let me know what that watch is in your collection. Okay, let's crack on with the watches you're here to see. We're actually going to start right here with this wonderful Rolex Oyster Perpetual 34mm. This is the Lavender dial, reference 124200, and you can see you've got that wonderful lavender purple dial. Very, very subtle, to be honest. It's not a very deep purple, it's quite a light purple, which makes it work beautifully. On and off the wrist, you've got those batten indices, nice batten hands, Rolex Coronator 12, very classic, very simple with the Oyster Perpetual. Nice polished bezel, and then you've got brushing on the tops of the lugs with polishing on the sides, and a signed screw down crown at 3 o'clock. And it comes paired on its 3-link Oyster bracelet, which tapers down to the clasp, which also has a 5mm extension on there for a nice easy adjustment, and obviously links that are screw in so you can take them out nice and easy and get a comfortable fit. Then there's a screw down plain case back as you'd expect, and as I say, this is a reference 124200, and inside is the automatic Rolex caliber 2232. This one is from July 2025 with its box and paperwork. Looks like it's been worn maybe once, maybe twice. So a really, really good example and ready to go. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist. It's 34mm by 39.5mm lug to lug, 10.5mm on the thickness and 18mm on the lug set. And there's options for swapping this one out, but I think it looks best on the bracelet. I will say these 34mm, something to keep in mind is they do wear a little smaller than some of the older 34mm. I have a few of those myself, and I do find this wears a tad smaller. So it's definitely one to come in, try on, see for yourself, possibly head to your Rolex boutique because they should have some to try on at least. But it's a great watch and a great look, so go check it out on the website today. From there over to a classic Rolex. This is the Submariner no date, and this is actually the reference 14060 from 1999, the final year of production for the 14060 before it switched in 1999 to the M model, which was the M stands for modified, and it has a different Rolex caliber inside. Other than that, they're essentially the same watch. So as we can see from the dial, you've got that lovely glossy black dial with those luminous indices with the white gold surrounds and luminous Mercedes hands. 2 lines of text, so they often call this the 2-liner because at the bottom you can see Submariner, and then it's got the feet and 300 meters stated there. So just 2 lines of text as opposed to officially certified chronometer and all that stuff. Rolex Oyster Perpetual stated at 12 o'clock with the coronet right there. It's a wonderful watch and a wonderful example. As we take a look at the bezel, you've got a black aluminium bezel. It has got some wear and age to it, but again, for me, I think they look better with a bit of wear, so it's a cool look. Brushing all around the case with polishing on the sides. This has definitely been worn and enjoyed. It's been loved over the years, which again, I'm not too mad about. I think having one of these early Submariners with a bit of wear definitely looks good, and we can always have it redone with our case makers, or polishers I should say. to have it looking like new again if you want. Big signed screw down crown at 3 o'clock with nice pointy crown guards, and it comes paired on its 3-link Oyster bracelet, which has plenty of adjustment on the clasp as well as a dive extension there. As we take a look at the case back, a screwed down plain case back. As I say, this is a reference 14060, the final year of production for this reference, and it's a automatic Rolex caliber 3000 inside. It does have box and booklets. It has no original paperwork, unfortunately, so the year 1999 is based on the fact it's an A serial. And here it is on my 7-inch wrist at 40mm by 47mm lug to lug, only 12mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs with drilled lug holes to make strap changing nice and easy. It's a classic. I think if you're after, and at the moment of recording this video, I have the 14060 and the 14060M, so you can choose between the two. But if you're after that final year of production for the 14060, this is obviously the one you want to get. So go check it out on the website today. Now from there over to a really wonderful Rolex Cellini, and this is a white gold reference, 18 karat white gold, as you can see, with that wonderful black dial, Rolex Geneve and Cellini stated, and there's a concentric circle on the inside with a glossy outer disc where the numerals are, and the applied Rolex coronet, and 6, no seconds hand, as you can see, 2 sword hands. Very nicely done. And this is actually a Rolex CPO, which is certified pre-owned. So this went through that program a little while ago. I think it was in August, but again, you can see the full details on the website. So what that means is Rolex officially serviced this and put it through their certified pre-owned program. So again, it's got that sort of extra tick, if you will, and it comes with a specific Rolex CPO card. A warranty card, so it has their full 2-year warranty for that work as well. So it's a nice touch, you know. It does come at usually a premium. Obviously, we're not charging a premium for that compared to other examples on the market, but when you buy directly from Rolex, typically it comes with a premium. As we take a look around the case, you've got this really wonderful white gold polished case and a Rolex signed crown at 3 o'clock. The case back has got some scratches and wear, and it's stated on the CPO paperwork that they wouldn't polish the back because, again, they're emphasizing or wanting to keep the numerals and everything in the serial nice, clear and visible, as well as the hallmarks. So it's good to see Rolex actually caring about these things as opposed to just making everything look shiny. They're thinking about the future of these watches, so it is a positive sign. This is a reference 4233/9. It does compared on a really nice black suede watch gecko strap with its original 18 karat white gold Rolex buckle. It does have its original Rolex strap, but it's quite heavily worn, so it is in the box. This is a reference 4233/9. It's a manually wound Rolex caliber 1602 inside, and it's from May 2006 with its original box and paperwork, as well as the Rolex CPO card and paperwork for that. So yeah, a really fantastic example and well worth picking up. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist. 33mm by 39.5mm. Don't be fooled by that because of the shape of the case. It actually wears a lot bigger than that and it looks fantastic. Only 7mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs, which again helps with the wearability because it's not a very tiny lug width. A really beautiful watch at a fantastic price for white gold, and it's quite heavy as well. So yeah, be sure to check this one out on the website today. Now on to a Zenith Chronomaster Sport. This is the Aaron Rodgers edition in 41mm. As you can see, a wonderful green dial and a super hyperactive chrono. I love these El Primeros where you've got the high beat chrono and it goes around at that pace, which is just crazy. So as you can see, chronograph going around 1/10 of a second. That's your main chronograph. You've got running seconds over at 9 o'clock. In the grey subdial, you've got the chronograph main seconds, because obviously the chronograph seconds is going around so fast. And then you've got a 60-minute totalizer for the chronograph at 6 o'clock. Date tucked away at 4:30, which is also colour matched. And as you can see, that really nice, wonderful green dial with those applied indices that are full of lume, and it really contrasts perfectly. Green ceramic bezel right there as well, which again is a very nice shade of green. As we take a look around the case, you've got brushing and polishing throughout with really nice edges and curves. Sign crown at 3 o'clock, pump pushers for the chronograph there, and it comes on a 3-link bracelet, brushing on the outside, polishing on the inside, and then we come to a folding clasp with holes for the clasp for adjustment. So you've got 5 holes right there, which is fantastic to see, because most places are ditching that way of adjustment, but I think it's probably one of the easiest. Of course, glide adjust and all the modern bells and whistles today, but I'm still fond of these older style clasps, personally. As we take a look at the case back, you can see right there a really wonderful exhibition case back. This is one of 250 total. You have his Aaron Rodgers number stated on the case back itself, which I think is 242. I could be wrong on that. Double check on the website. I'm not much of a sports person myself. I won't bore you to reference this one. You can go see that on the website. But inside is the automatic Zenith El Primero caliber 3600. And this one's from November 2023 with its box and paperwork ready to go and priced to fly as well. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 41mm by 46.5mm lug to lug, only 13mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lug, so you could easily swap this out, but I think it looks great on the bracelet, and that green is fantastic. It's a really nice shade of green. So regardless of your connection to Aaron Rodgers, I keep forgetting his name, which I'm sure I'm going to get slated for the fact I'm not much of a sports fan. Even if you have no connection to that chap, this watch stands on its own and it doesn't have his name written on the front or anything like that. I don't think it even has it actually written anywhere on the watch itself, which again, I'm fond of that kind of stuff because you can wear it regardless. So go check it out on the website today. Now on to one of my favorites in this week's drop, and I think it's going to be a highlight for most people. This is the wonderful Heuer Verona, which is the automatic caliber 12 chronograph in 38mm, and it's circa 1978-79, and it's a very short production Heuer in general, part of the lineup. Now the Verona covered a couple of different variants, a couple of different dials. This is the classic one with the black dial, the caliber 12 layout, so you have no running seconds on the watch. You have your central chronograph seconds, 30-minute totalizer at 3 o'clock and a 12-hour totalizer at 9 o'clock. Date tucked away at 6 o'clock, Verona Heuer stated at 12 o'clock, and then those applied indices with an outer tachymeter scale on the outer ring. Really, really wonderful plastic crystal as you'd expect, polished bezel which slopes down to a brushed case, crown over at 9 o'clock, and then the pushers over at 2 and 4, which are these nice sort of hexagonal pushers, nice and original. This is a really wonderful example, as I say, and you do not see them often. It's a reference 110.213, and as we flip the watch over, you can see a nice screw-down case back. You have got this this sort of pattern in the middle of it. As you can see in certain photos and lights, it looks far worse than it actually is in person, but that's where a NATO strap has basically sat for many years against the case back, and it rubs and creates that little pattern. But the main thing is the reference and serial are very clearly visible still, which is good. Now inside this is the famous automatic Heuer caliber 12, which is a micro rotor chronograph movement, one of the first chronograph movements of the period, with the caliber 11, later the caliber 12, and used by Buren, Hamilton and many other brands as well. A famous and incredible movement. As I say, this dates to circa 1978-79. It's paired on a nice Watch Gecko strap at the moment, and it does have a couple of little extra bits, so be sure to check those out on the website. And here it is on my 7-inch wrist, and I think this is the reason why this is so popular, because it wears so well at 38mm by 46.5mm lug to lug, 13.5mm on the thickness and 19mm on the lugs. So if you're after one of these, who knows when you're next going to see one. The interest in this has been very high because, again, it just does not come up often. So be sure to check it out and snap it up today. Add it to your collection before someone else does. And now on to a wonderful Hamilton 6B British Royal Air Force H67 in 36mm. So as you can see, you've got that really wonderful matte dial. There is a bit of sort of staining around 2 o'clock. It looks almost like a thumbprint, where at some point in the long past, maybe a watchmaker accidentally put his thumb on there. But again, nice original dial, really great lume throughout, as you can see with that that sort of tritium used there. It has got later hands, as you can see, but they are the correct profile, and that's the main thing. Look fantastic. Hamilton T stated at 12 o'clock with a nice broad arrow at 6 o'clock, and then you've got that really nice case profile, sort of all brushed finished throughout. Fixed lug bars on these, and as we take a look at the case back, you can see all the military designation, 6B-96144045, H67, and that is circa 1967. You've got the serial right there and a nice big broad arrow as well. And these are powered by the manually wound Hamilton caliber S75S. They do sometimes call these the Hamilton Mark 11s because these are what replaced the IWC Mark 11s, but it's definitely a 6B British Royal Air Force watch, which is pretty damn cool. And these can be picked up at great prices, in my opinion. This is a very good price, as you'll see online. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 36mm by 46.5mm lug to lug, 11.5mm on the thickness and 18mm on the lugs. If you're after sort of military watches, this is definitely one you should be considering to add to your collection. So go check it out on the website today. Now we've got a wonderful Grand Seiko, definitely one on the larger side, but it looks amazing. This is the Grand Seiko Hotaka Mountains. I've probably butchered that, and it's a spring drive GMT, specifically the reference SBGE295G. And you're presented with that wonderful green dial, which has got those very subtle textures and the sort of thing you've got to look closer at to really appreciate, which I love about Grand Seiko. Zaratsu finishing on the hands, big GMT in the second right there, spring drive GMT stated at 6 o'clock. Date tucked away at 4 o'clock, and a power reserve over at about between 8 and 9, as you can see on the dial. An outer 24-hour ring, and then you've got a 24-hour luminous bezel with the green and the white. Again, that contrast just works perfectly. This is a very cool looking watch. As we take a look around the case, you've got those really nice finishing you'd expect with the brushing and polishing. Drilled lug holes, surprisingly, as well. Signed screw down crown at 4 o'clock, which sort of recesses slightly into the case. And then we come to the bracelet, which is this 3-link bracelet with the polish and brushing in there as well. And then the push button folding clasp with 4 positional adjustments right there on the clasp, again to make getting a comfortable fit nice and easy. Signed screw down case back, so no exhibition case back on this one, and beating away inside is the spring drive, well actually it doesn't beat, does it? Spring drive Grand Seiko caliber 9R65. I'd highly recommend reading up on the spring drive technology. It's fascinating and far too complex for me to describe in this video, but be sure to check it out. This one's from March 2024 with its box and paperwork, and again, if you're after a slightly larger, really cool Grand Seiko, this is definitely one to consider, and they're priced really well as well. So here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 43.5mm by 51mm lug to lug, 14mm on the thickness and 21mm on the lugs. So whilst it's definitely on the larger side, it still wears really well in my opinion. So go check this one out on the website today. Now from there to something a bit more traditionally sized with the Grand Seiko Heritage Collection 9F quartz. This is the 37mm model, specifically the SBGX261G. I've had many of these over the years. They always sell incredibly well and fairly fast, because at the end of the day, getting a really nice 9F quartz Grand Seiko at this kind of price is kind of amazing. You've got a really nice matte black dial, very simple Grand Seiko stated at 12 o'clock with an applied logo. Really nice matte sword hands and those faceted batten indices, which again sort of play with the light depending on how you look at it. Date over at 3 o'clock right there, and then a polished bezel with brushing on the top of the lugs with a polished sides and that sort of subtle curve, as you can see. A nice signed crown at 3 o'clock, and then a 3-link brushed Oyster bracelet. Very, very simple indeed, with half links right there. As we take a look at the case back, it's signed and screwed down, and powering this watch is a quartz Seiko caliber 9F62. This specific one's from September 2022 with its box and paperwork ready to go. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist at 37mm by 44mm lug to lug, so really nice and compact, 10mm thick and 19mm on the lugs with drilled lug holes. So it's great to have both the bracelet, but I would highly recommend swapping this out for leather straps as well. The versatility of this piece is definitely key, so go check it out on the website today. Now for a vintage Seiko chronograph, this is really fun. This is the Seiko automatic chronograph, nicknamed the Bruce Lee with the blue dial. You have a really, really cool looking watch right here. Obviously, something that has to be stated is these are manually wind, so they're automatic, but you can't wind them to power them. So you have to do something called the Seiko shuffle. Hopefully I'm showing it right now. Just a gentle sway back and forth, gets that rotor moving, and that's what powers the watch. And then obviously as you wear it, it will continue to keep going. So now we take a closer look at the dial. You've got that really nice metallic blue dial. It's quite a worn example, as they usually are, which again, I think look better when they've got that worn look to them. Batten style hands, vibrant red on the seconds hand, and then a red 30-minute totalizer down at 6 o'clock. So again, another watch with no running seconds. Day date at 4 o'clock, and the way you change that is pushing in the crown. If you push in the crown all the way, it will change both the day and the date, and if you only push it in slightly, it will change just the date. So that's how you flick through, obviously ensuring you're not in the date change position already of the hands. So going past midnight, you know, past 6 AM ideally. Really nice luminous batten indices, outer blue tachymeter scale on there, and then you've got this sort of boxed crystal on the top, which is very nice. Brushing and polishing, again very worn on the case, but it looks good. Really nice profile. Recessed crown at 3 o'clock, and then pump pushers at 2 and 4 for the chronograph. And then we come to the bracelet. This is the original Seiko bracelet, which looks fantastic. Obviously, it's a bit worn and jangly, as these always are, but I've always liked this bracelet. It's very comfortable on the wrist. As we take a look at the case back, you can see a signed screw down case back. Now this is a reference 6139-6012, which means it's got the automatic Seiko caliber 6139 inside. This one dates to circa June 1974, and I was obviously watch only with this bracelet. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist at 39mm by 43mm lug to lug, only 13mm on the thickness and 19mm on the lugs if you want to swap it out for a leather strap. But again, it's always nice to have the original Japanese Seiko bracelet. So yeah, go check this one out on the website today. From there, over to watches that are powered by Seiko movements. This is the Nodus Sector Sport GMT Sunset Yellow 40mm automatic, a wonderful GMT watch that is super affordable for what you get. You've got that really nice vibrant sunset yellow dial, which actually goes more towards an orangey tone on the outside, more yellow on the inside. It's a very nice contrast. Nice arrow hands for the time with a lollipop seconds, and then a hollowed out GMT hand for the GMT, as you can see. Date tucked away at 4:30, Nodus Sector and GMT stated on the inside, and then you have a slightly raised outer minute track with the luminous indices and an outer 24-hour track which you use for the GMT. A steel rotating bezel, and then brushing and polishing along the sides. Nodus always have very good finishing, especially for the price. Signed screw down crown at 3 o'clock, and then we come to the quick release bracelet, and you still have drilled lug holes as well for the case, which is perfect. 3-link bracelet, coming down to a push button clasp, which has a push button glide adjust as well, which is very easy and nice to use. We come to a signed screw down case back right there, and beating away inside, as I said, is an automatic Seiko caliber NH34. This one's from March 2025 with its box and paperwork ready to go. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 40mm by 46mm lug to lug, 11.5mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs. If you're after a GMT that's not going to break the bank, looks really good and actually wears this movement really well, I would say better than the Seiko GMTs, this is definitely one to consider. So go check it out on the website today. And the next Nodus watch on the table is this wonderful Nodus Sector Sport Frosty Silver Dial 38mm automatic. As you can see, in comparison to the other Nodus we just looked at, you've got a really clean dial here with that silver, or frosty silver dial, I guess as they call it. Nodus Sector 100 meters stayed in the center, and then raised indices on the outside with 3, 6 and 9 as well. Luminous hands, outer minute track on the inside of the sort of inner bezel, if you will. Nice brushed bezel, polishing along the sides and brushing as well, as you can see, twisting to those lugs. Big signed screw down crown at 3 o'clock with great grip. And then we come to the bracelet, slightly different to the other one, very nicely finished and very comfortable as well, with the same push button clasp, with the same push button glide adjust on there, so nice and easy to use. As we take a look at the case back, you can see a really nice decoration on there and some details. Inside is the automatic Seiko caliber NH38, and this one's from July 2023 with its box and paperwork ready to go. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 38mm by 47mm lug to lug, so it wears really well, 12.5mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs. If you're after a clean, simple, sporty watch that you can sort of do anything in, this is definitely one to consider, and again, it's going to look good on straps, so go check it out on the website today. Now on to a watch that's really surprised me with just how good it is. This is the Neotype LM02 Type C green plus old radium, as they call it, in 41mm. So as we take a look at the watch, you'll see it's obviously inspired, or at least I think so, by Unimatic and things like that, but you've got a really nice green dial, which is a sandwich dial, so the lume, the old radium as they're calling it, is sort of underneath the indices. You've got no running seconds, you've got a chronograph seconds, 24-hour dial at 3 o'clock and a 60-minute totalizer for the chronograph at 9 o'clock. Really nice simple design that really works and contrasts perfectly with that matte black bezel, which is, again, has got that old faux patina look going on within the numerals. As we take a look around the case, really simple brushed finish throughout. Signed screw down crown at 3 o'clock with signed screw down pushers for the chronograph to start, stop and reset as you'd expect. And then we take a look around the case, screw down case back with all the details stated right there. Limited to 150 total, and using a Mecha Quartz Seiko caliber VK64. Just compared on this nice sort of sand coloured strap, and I think it also has a black strap in the box as well. It's from 2025 with its box and paperwork, and here it is on my 7-inch wrist at 41mm by 48.5mm lug to lug, 15mm on the thickness, and 22mm on the lugs. It's just a really cool watch for not a lot of money, and it feels super robust on the wrist. It's the kind of thing you'd wear in sort of like a doomsday scenario. So go check this one out on the website today. Next up, we have an Islander watch, and some of you may remember this from my unboxing and first impressions a little while ago. This is the Islander Automatic Blue Turtle Dive Watch, 43mm, specifically the ISL-301. As you can see, you have a turtle on the dial. It's a very cool printing. It didn't quite pop as much as I thought it would personally, which is why I'm selling it. And also it's not the kind of thing I would wear too often. I was just intrigued to get one. But in terms of build quality, fit and finish, I mean, it's ridiculous just how good this is. So you've got those luminous hands right there, outer minute track on the Reholt ring, a luminous bezel as well with the 12 numerals on the outside with the big triangle at 12 o'clock. And that bezel is polished on the outside with the metal, and then polishing along the sides, brushing along the top, signed screw down crown at 4 o'clock, and as we flip it over, a screw down case back right there, decorated as you can see. It's powered by the automatic Seiko Caliber NH36, paired on its original blue rubber strap with its signed buckle, and it's from July 2025 with its box and paperwork. I say box and paperwork because it comes with just a box. And that's how they come. So it does come with everything it should. Just want to make that clear. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 45mm by 47mm lug to lug, 15mm on the thickness and 22mm on the lugs. I mean, this would probably make a great gift for someone for Christmas coming up. So be sure to snap it up and gift it to someone you like. Now on to a Timex, and this is the Timex Q IFL watches Prism Quartz 38mm with that hand-painted dial, so no two are exactly the same. IFL does these sort of custom paint jobs, very, very cool, and this is a limited edition as well. I'm not going to bore you with the full reference of this one, but you can go see it all on the website. The main thing is you've got this hand-painted dial, which is very cool. The 11 indices is actually painted over, all the rest aren't, which is quite interesting to see. You've got those luminous hands, an orange second hand, day date at 3 o'clock, and then a steel outer friction fit bezel, so it rotates either way as you wish. Brushing and polishing throughout the case, crown at 3 o'clock, and as we flip it over, you can see a signed case back with the Timex battery cover right there that you can use to open and close and replace the batteries nice and easy, which is always good to see. And it comes on its Timex bracelet as well, and it's from June 2024, box and papers. Ready to go. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 38mm by 44.5mm lug to lug, 11.5mm on the thickness and 18mm on the lugs. I think if you're after something a bit unique and a bit different, this is really cool. And you know, I like what they do. Some of the stuff I think is more interesting than others. This is just a great way to get something truly unique because each one is going to be slightly different for not a lot of money. So go check it out on the website today. And last but by no means least is a Orient Bambino. This is the automatic day in 38mm with that lovely eggshell tone on the dial. Orient stated at 12 o'clock, date at 3 o'clock, water resistant stated in a nice typeface at 6 o'clock as well. Blued hands, so you've got blued hour, minute and second hand. Applied steel indices around the outside with a minute track. Very, very subtle, definitely looks like an old vintage watch, which is what's made the Bambino so popular. Polishing along the tops in the bezel as well and brushing along the sides with a signed crown at 3 o'clock. And as we flip it over, you're presented with a signed exhibition case back, and that is an automatic Orient Caliber F672 inside. Comes paired on its original brown Orient strap with a signed buckle, and it's from the circa 2020s with its box and paperwork ready to go. And for the price we're asking for this, it's a lot of watch for the money. Again, Christmas coming up, it would make a fantastic gift. So here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 38mm by 44mm lug to lug, 12mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs. A great dress watch for not a lot of money, that's mechanical, and by a great Japanese brand as well. So go check it out on the website today. So there you have it, everyone, 15 more watches, and as we're getting closer and closer to Christmas, it is getting more and more intense and it's getting busier, which is great. So I really appreciate it. Lots more great stuff coming. Next week's drop is also going to be another banger with some amazing watches in there. I think you're all going to definitely enjoy that one. And I'm trying to get a few more vintage in the works. As always, vintage takes a bit longer to get ready, but we are working on it. So we're going to keep going all the way up until Christmas and the new year with drops. My plan is to go all the way through every single Saturday with no break. but I will be taking a break myself, and all those dates will be announced hopefully in the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye out for that, probably as we get into December. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you all again next Saturday. Take care.